If you are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact, and more revenue in your business, tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. So you've made the decision to become a business owner. Awesome. Now what? I tell you that the thing that blows my mind is how the conversation around moving from the spark of an idea to creating success is like this gigantic void of a black hole bigger than the Milky Way. Nobody's talking about what does it really take to be a business owner. There's a million tactics, there's a million opinions, and you're still going, yeah, but now what? Well, I know when I started my business what it took to be a business owner. And I'm a rare breed in that because I had spent 30 years in the world of businesses mentoring and supporting other businesses to create an engine of repeatable success. And I was stunned by the fact that business owners think that having an idea was the hard part. It's not. Let me burst that bubble and change your perspective. The ideas are the easy part. And I think half the challenge for some of you in the audience is that you have so many ideas, you never stick to one, you never follow through enough, and therefore you are constantly in a hamster wheel of your own making. Business growth is elegantly simple. Learning what it takes to be a business owner is what we do in our business. Essentially, I'm like your business bestie badass mentor who's going to say, do this. Here's the steps of how to build a client growth engine. Here's the steps to build a business that has consistent cash, consistent profit. And here's how we get into the weeds. Not just the theory, but the lived experience. And so today, I want to dial it back. What happens the moment after you've got this idea? And I'm not talking about strategy today. I'm not talking about the nuts and bolts of marketing and selling. I'm talking about the bigger picture, the heart, the human. And what does it really take to choose to lead as a business owner? Because that's what you're signing on for. Most of the people on the planet don't want to willingly go into this journey. You might be in a room full of a lot of entrepreneurs and you forget that the vast majority like mediocrity, like stable paychecks, like working for other people, like their focus in that known reality. That's why we still teach people, go up, get an education, get a good job, and stay in the world of corporate. You are a unicorn. But now what? We've got an idea. Well, let me tell you what it takes really at the heart to win repeatedly as a business owner. The first is so crystal clear, and it is a problem right now in the marketplace. You have to show up. And I'm not talking about showing up when it's convenient. I'm not talking about showing up once in a while. If you are, that's exactly why you're in overwhelm. That's exactly why it feels so heavy. And that's why you're constantly in doubt of, can I do this? You haven't met your match yet. You still have quitting on the table. And I know my clients are absolutely not in that camp. My clients have made the decision. I am determined to find how to do this. I'm determined to make this work, and I'm determined to get there fast. But if you're still flirting with the idea and you haven't decided that showing up is non-negotiable, we're going to start here. Because here's the thing. Every day you must show up. As a business owner, you're going to work at the beginning more hours than 9 to 5. You're going to work and be obsessed about your business all the time because for you, it feels like oxygen. And if it doesn't feel like oxygen, I'm going to say, really? Maybe you should rethink about this path you're on, because it needs to be self-fulfilling the same way each breath comes sequentially, one after the other. This is a movement, a motion, and this pattern is what you're signing on for. So I want you to show up every day. And some of you know the story, you've maybe heard it before, but when I first started my business as an entrepreneur, I showed up 1 hour a day, non-negotiably, every day. And I had a lot of other family responsibilities, but that choice to show up was non-negotiable. And so that meant sometimes it was 3 minutes or 7 minutes in between meetings, or while I was standing in the lineup of something, or waiting in the car for my kids, or whatever it was. I just made the decision to show up. And I talk a lot about in my events and when I'm leading people and people are in conversation with me, that we must make the commitment to show up. And commit to me is an acronym. It's a declaration, a self-declaration. Count on me making it there. And that is at the very heart, step number 1. You have to show up. And if you want to make it easier on yourself, make it a daily habit. Because the hokey pokey, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, is the reason it's so painful. An object in motion stays in motion more easily than an object starting from zero. This is physics, the world physics. So you showing up every day compound your energy and the result speeds up. When you don't show up and you don't be consistent, you are exactly living the life you're creating. Inconsistent and scary. Second piece of this puzzle is that in order to stand out in the marketplace, it is so simple. You have to care. You have to care through your lens, your experience, your expertise. But people do business with people. And when they are in a conversation to buy your services, they have to trust you. They have to like you. They have to have evidence that you will care, because they're borrowing your confidence when they don't have it themselves, that you know where you're going, you can guide them, and you'll do so with respect, integrity, and follow through. So care. That means it's hard. You're going to go through seasons where you're absolutely besties, and other seasons with your clients where you're like, you're not well liked, but you should always be respected. But caring is how you stand out and become outstanding as a service provider. Third piece of the principle of success in business is owning the journey. Every business has seasons. Every business owner is a human in a lived experience. And that means you will feel all the emotions. There's not good emotions and bad emotions. There's emotions, and you will ride them all. And that means living in the moments of joy, fully present. It means living in the moments of the mistakes and finding the nuggets of what was this to serve as a stepping stone. To recognize there's going to be heartbreak and disappointment, and that too shall pass. And there'll be moments of inspiration, hope, anticipation, and that too is beautiful and will pass. All emotions are fleeting. Live in the season you're in and own the human experience. It makes you relatable. It makes you somebody who is safe space for somebody to engage with. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, perfection is off-putting. The fourth key principle to this is to know that this is a development journey. You will not have everything you need at the beginning. You will invest in your skills, invest in your mindset, invest in risks that you manage to grow yourself, your business, and your client results, which means commit to the skilling up that will be required, not once, but over and over and over again. You've likely heard the phrase, business ownership is an ever-ending business journey that is innately about personal growth. So budget for it, expect it, and get messy. And that's the next piece of the puzzle. Messy action is the only thing that counts. It's time to stop always focusing on the learning and the documenting of your knowledge. It's time to do the work. Get off zero. Every step you take is a step towards mastery, to new knowledge, and it's the lived experience that people will pay for. You have to have it. And people have to see the journey. And I will tell you, it's one of the most magnetic things you can offer to the marketplace. I know many people come into my business because they've watched the movement, they've watched the messiness. And here's the thing. Beware the comparison rule. Your messy first action, which you're so ashamed of and afraid to put out there in public, somebody else is going, wow, I admire you for that. To me, that's admirable. You got off zero and I'm still stuck here. And you're thinking, yeah, but I want to be in 10 steps ahead. Take the journey where you are. Messy action is the only way to evolve. So have a sense of humor, embrace the suck, and do it anyway. The final piece of this puzzle of what does it really take to be a business owner? What does it really take to win as a business owner, creating commerce, money from ideas and people is choice. I think so many business owners got sold the idea that the result of business was choice. And it is an outcome. Financial security gives you infinite choices, and business goals should be about the financial impact, the health, spirit, and wealth that you create. But it isn't just a destination. It's actually a daily habit. From the moment you decide to be a unicorn and say, I'm going to go build a business, you are signing up for daily choice. Not a destination, a daily choice. And that means you have a choice to be determined or desperate. You have a choice to be inflexible and wishy-washy and flaky, or you can be non-negotiable and clear on the big rocks. You can choose your boundaries. What do you want success to look like in each season on the journey? And you get to define that expectations. That expectations of yourself, that expectations of your clients, the expectations for your family. This is your rule book. You are writing it. That's so glorious to me. I don't know why we get focused just on the other side of success, which is when we have wealth and we can make choices. We get to make choices all along the way. And that's the biggest difference when you write your ticket versus you have somebody else writing your paycheck. You also get the choice of how you will reward yourself. And rewards should be part of the journey from the very beginning. I know one of the most common conversations I have with new clients is I'm only measuring or I'm only being measured by my bottom line. My husband thinks I'm wasting money because I'm not creating enough money. I feel like I'm not doing enough because I don't have any clients. And I say, yes, that might be true. And that's one measure, but it's not the only measure. And what will you do when you get there? How will you reward yourself? And they're all perplexed. They're like, I've never thought about it. So, well, how do you get moving if you don't have a reward? We are innately reward-driven human beings. We cried, so we got fed. We wanted to reward, so we made an action. Business is just the same. So how will you reward yourself? How will you reward yourself for messy action, for feeling all the feels, for skilling up, for caring and showing up? I have very clear rewards, and if you follow me on social media, you'll know what some of them are. When I sign a new client, I love a glass of champagne. When I have taken a risk, I dance around my room in my office and say, frick, that was scary, but I did it anyway. And I reward myself with walks when I need processing time and the ability to think through something. And I reward myself with movement because a stagnant energy doesn't create the results I want. But if you really want to build a business, it's just a choice to get involved. I said, show up, care, own the journey, all of it. Skill up, embrace the messy, and choose. This is a richly rewarding journey. You are the spark of it. Nobody else is going to build your business for you. you can have fuel sources to help you show up, to help you know how to care, to help you feel all the feels and embrace the journey. Certainly have people who will skill up with you, who will hold your hand and be with you doing messy action, and who will see the boldness of your daily choices. Do you know who that person is? Always it is you, the reflection in the mirror, and by invitation, it may be others, peer counsels, mentors, and people who will be with you on the journey. When you start your business, I want you to know it's going to be hard. It's going to require effort. It's going to require you to stretch in ways you can't possibly imagine. It is the journey of your making. It will be incredible. And your business will be exactly what you build. So is it time to have this conversation? You are capable of hard things. And this list I gave you is elegantly simple. I have the absolute privilege as a business mentor to help show people, not just this, the heart of what it takes to be a business owner, but I help them build the skills and the strategy to win. Why do I do that? Because truthfully, I was exhausted and disheartened and just honestly perplexed by why people choose the hard path and don't make it easier on themselves. And a good friend of mine said to me, Christine, pay attention. The skills you bring, the perspective you share, somebody needs that. So go do it. And I made myself open to the opportunities. And now I'm incredibly blessed to help clients all around the world build their dreams. And I am privileged to witness it. I have the leadership to hold that vision for them. And I help them show up massively, care exponentially, own the journey, skill up and re-skill up and build those business foundations. And I bear witness to the messy action. I give feedback on the action. I help them use those actions to create messy stepping stones. And they get stronger and more capable and more determined. And they have clear boundaries, higher expectations. And guess what? The ripples, it's incredible. So if you're ready and you want to stay at this table, what do you need yourself to build the business you dream of? And if you need help, you know where to find me. My name is Christine Campbell Rapin. You can find me at christinecampbellrapin.com, and I help people build their client growth engine. First their mind, then the skills. So we have a repeating success story. Let's chat. I'll see you on the inside. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.